yeah.
Fear.
Yeah.
And we may sit silent and
Yes.
and listen what other people are talking about because we are afraid of making mistakes.
Yes. And if you made a mistake, how would you look?
Bad.
You would look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you don't make a mistake, and you don't learn. I'm up here making tons of mistakes. You know, I see these videos that I made. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. Oh my God, you know. But hey, you know, I said that I'm the guy for this thing, right? You know, you have to deal with it. Like, oh wow, that was really dumb, and then you put in the correction. It's driven by looking good too, right? I want to look good just as much as everybody else, right? So your participation is driven by looking good. That's a human condition that you inherit. Yes? In life, everywhere, and it keeps you from being a leader and exercising leadership effectively because human beings are consumed with looking good. Got that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, the homework. I asked you to do homework and you didn't do the darn homework, right? And so one person said they would try and then forgot, okay? Now, what else? Somebody else, interact with me about that. So it doesn't live for you as a... Do you notice that it's not a very powerful way to live life, right? It's like you say you'll do something and then you don't. Do you know that that's not a very powerful way to live life? You know that. Okay. But yet, you still do it. What is that? What's that all about? Somebody say something. Interrupt me. What? Interrupt me. Make a mistake. Look bad. Yeah.
Maybe laziness. Like
What?
laziness. To be when you're lazy, you don't want to do anything, and you're passive, and you're a loser as a result.
You're a loser?
No, when you're lazy. When you are lazy. Laziness.
When you're late.
Lazy.
Lazy.
Yes. L-A.
I'm just trying to. So how does that? When you're late, you're lazy.
Not late, but when you're
You know what?
just lazy.
It's not the truth. That's a story. Lazy is a story. You can't find any lazy in here. You can't, you know? I don't see any lazy laying around here. Right? I don't see any love laying around here. There is no love.
No love, no lazy.
Huh?
No love, no lazy.
There's no love, there's no lazy. Those are interpretations. They live in language. Only in language, it's an interpretation. Now maybe you're always late, all the time. Doesn't mean that you have to be lazy. But if you say I'm lazy as a way to explain it, it lets you off the hook, right? It's like, oh, I'm lazy, right? That's just the way I am, you know. I am lazy. I was born that way. So therefore, don't expect very much of me because I'm not going to be on time. I'm not going to honor my word when it comes to being on time, and I'm not going to be straight about it. I'm not going to tell you that that's, but I'm going to tell you a story and a justification called I'm lazy. But there's no lazy. There's just being late, or not. So with somebody else, what else? I asked you to do something. What happened? What happened?
Maybe lack of time.
Lack of time? Yeah, really? So there you were, and you remembered to do your homework, and then you said, "But I don't have enough time." Is that what happens? Did you even think that?
No, it's just at midnight when you remember something and you want to sleep, so you go sleep and not do your first.
Yeah, you just don't remember. correct? Did you remember and then not do? Did anybody remember and then do something else? Were you here yesterday?
No, I was absent. Yes.
Yeah. So
For the first
this
time.
doesn't apply to you. This
Okay.
doesn't apply to you except for other things maybe that you've
Okay,
done.
I just want to say maybe the thing is the driver is the lack of responsibility.
Yeah. Well, there's something that you said is accurate that we'll get to later called cause in the matter. But if lack of responsibility lives as a story, it's like, I'm just not responsible.
Okay,
Then
it's like lazy.
It's like lazy. Yeah, it's a justification. You know, it's a story. So yeah?
I think I just made a collage and I thought that maybe someone else will do another homework. So I just want to go to sleep and didn't do this notes.
Okay, did you remember that I asked you to do that after you left here?
Yes.
And then you said to yourself, maybe somebody else will do it?
Yes.
And-
It is a lack of responsibility.
A what? Lack of,
Responsibility.
that's not true. No, that's a story. Now, there is a conversation that you listen to.
I think maybe a reason that we have a lot of amount of work to do for the evening, and when we came home, we had maybe three different types of work, and when it comes to do the English, we are just so tired and we didn't have a power to
Energy.
think.
You were lacking energy.
Yeah, after the whole day and the evening by reading huge books, yeah, I had no energy at all.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to call BS on that too. See, you could have done the homework while you were. How do you get home? Do you drive? Do you get on the metro?
Yeah.
You could have done the homework on the metro. You know that there's, hold on, there's all these people that you see, and you judge and evaluate all those people on the metro, don't you? Your voice, yeah? You have opinions about all of them, don't you? Yeah. And you could set those opinions aside and just kind of imagine what the contribution of that person could be. So you could have done at least that part. And when did you eat? Do you eat with your family?
No.
No. Or do you eat with a friend? Or do you eat at all?
Alone.
Huh?
Alone.
Alone. Okay. So did you have any interaction with anybody? Okay. So you mean to tell me that you actually didn't even have enough time to ask someone, why do you brush your teeth?
Theoretically, I had time, but when we have a lot of things to do, we make the priorities.
Priorities.
Priorities, yes, and do something else.
Right, so you had different priorities.
No, from this moment, I have a priority of English leadership, really.
Right. Go ahead.
Can it be a problem of timing and lack of organization?
This lack of organization starts to get at.
Because it's a
Starts to get at it.
because I have this problem and it's like procrastinating all the time to the last night, and then you're doing all the stuff.
Yeah, put it off.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Anybody else wanna? What displaced? Okay. I'm going to say something and see if this makes a difference for you. Okay. There's conversations. We're having conversations. And when we leave today, this that's coming out of my mouth and what you all said will have no persistence. Do you know what I mean by that? It will not continue to exist. Okay, I will take this and put it here, and when we come back tomorrow, it'll be there. Objects have persistence. Yes?
Yes.
Conversations are designed to go out of existence.
But we have a video camera.
That's true. That has persistence, but it's not present for you,
Okay.
at least not right now. But conversations have no persistence unless you capture them, and then you go back and you play it back. Or there's another way. That's good. There's another way for a conversation to have persistence. Do you know what it is? It has to, huh?
That's right.
Yes, exactly. You can attach the conversation to a physical object.
Mhm.
Then it has persistence. Hmm? Yeah, exactly. You put it down. It has persistence. But then you have to manage the physical object that you put the stuff in. Yes? In other words, you said you would do a homework, you put it on a Post-it, and you put the Post-it on your forehead, and you wake up in the morning and you see it. It's like, oh yeah, I said that I was going to do my homework. I said that I was going to do that. Now, you could have done this homework in about 1 minute or less. You could have done this homework in 1 minute or less. But the conversation went out of existence. Or if you did happen to remember it, human beings have a way of talking yourself out of something. Yeah? Oh, and it's like, we perennially don't wanna, and you can't make me. Human beings are, I don't wanna, and you can't make me machines. And then we'll tell ourselves a story to get out of it if we don't want to do it. Like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm not responsible, I'm going to let somebody else do it. Yes? Is that how we operate?
Yes.
Sometimes? Yeah? Do you have any other?
It's like a protection when you are tired or have some depression, so it's okay. I'm lazy, so.
Tiredness is a really good excuse for not doing this. It's an excellent excuse. Almost everybody, especially all the students here, and maybe even you have some teachers, they'll buy that. I know that around here you have this overloaded conversation, right? Oh, they're overloaded. Go easy on them. No, we're overloaded, That's a good reason to not do 30 seconds worth of leadership homework. I'm overloaded, I'm too tired. Okay? We're going to talk more and more about this. I promise you, you're going to have so much power, you're going to be unrecognizable. You will. Because what you're going to end up doing is when you hear something, somebody asks you to do something, or when you say something, you're going to think twice. Because your word, human beings don't live like they create the world in their words, but we do. Mostly we report on I don't feel like, when we speak, we're reporting on some emotional state or something like that. That's how we're wired. So we report on the world. But you put your integrity in about your word, and when you speak, you will actually create the world in your speaking. You have that power, but you don't know that you have that power yet. But you will when you leave this course. You will attend to what comes out of your mouth. Yeah? Are you up for it?
Yeah.
That is the source. That's the only thing we have control over. When you get up in the morning and you start thinking, you aren't thinking. you just kind of have thoughts, right? You're not, does any one of you think that you're thinking those thoughts? No, you're there, you show up, and then these thoughts start thinking. It's almost like they think us. We don't have any dominion. That should be a word that you probably need to write down in English words. Do you know this word, dominion? You don't have any dominion over this thing that's in your head that's talking to you. This voiceover, private conversation. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes? You don't have any dominion over that. You just wake up in the morning and it goes. But one thing you do have dominion is what comes out of your mouth. I will do the homework. I won't do the homework. I will be to class on time. If you start exercising those sayings and you honor yourself as these are sacred sayings that are coming out of your mouth, and you organize yourself around being where you said you would be, when you said you were going to be it, that's the first level. Is saying, I'm going to be here. Hold on, let me finish my...
Okay, sure.
I'm programming your brains. This is programming. If you start doing what you say you're going to do, like your life depended on it, or the quality of your life depended on it, and you start coming to class on time, and you start doing your homework like you said, or when you know you won't, you just text, say, I said I was going to do this, and I'm not. You honored your word. All of a sudden, as you go down life, you'll start saying things like, well, I'm going to make $1,000 this week. I'm going to bring this leadership course to Ukraine. And you know what happens? It starts happening. Because you're training yourself in the world to honor your word. You're not just reporting on what's happening. Are you getting this programmed? Reprogrammed? Are you doing okay? Yeah. Are you doing okay? Yeah. Okay. Just check it. This is a difficult conversation. You will have some emotions very likely come up around this course. You just need to grant them being. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that you have to quit. Doesn't mean that you have to anything. But you may find yourself from time to time emotional when you see the impact of what it is to be a human being in the conversations that you inherited. Some pretty nasty stuff sometimes. Okay, now, so tell me, what are you present to? Any how-abouts, what if, yeah buts, anything?
Can we say, I don't know, will I do the homework or not?
Well, when you say
Or
I
is it
don't
just
know,
just-
when you say I don't know, what you're doing is saying that there's going to be some circumstance in the future that will decide it for me. And, it's okay if you're clear about saying that, but it's not very powerful. It's more powerful to say how it's going to go, and then when it doesn't, say, you know what? I can't keep my word about that. It creates a huge amount of trust for the person that you promised that.
Okay.
But to say, well, I don't, it's like going on a date with the girl, and you say, well, we'll see, because you're maybe somebody else that you like more will be available or something, right? It's not very powerful, and they know it anyway.
I understood, but this was like a joking question.
Huh? A joking?
Yes,
Okay.
a little bit.
It's a joke, all right. It's just not very powerful it's not your word causing the world. It's down the line I'll see. And then some circumstances will decide it for me, not me. All right, what else? Yeah, buts, how abouts, what ifs. What are you left with in this conversation? How's it going for you?
What exactly?
Huh?
What exactly?
What is it?
What exactly?
This conversation.
What exactly?
Which conversation?
What exactly? What did you say after what exactly?
No, no,
Nothing.
it's okay, I understand. My question is lost.
What?
How about a question?
By the way, this being quiet is another one of these kinds of things. It's like being small. It's like an expression of being small. Like what I say isn't going to make a difference. It's kind of like floating, a test balloon. We float test balloons to see if that's going to work. We just like put that test balloon out there and it looks like then we'll step out some more. So just be bold, make a jerk of yourself. It's way more powerful just to be a bold jerk than a sophisticated, well-spoken, quiet mouse. It's
I had
okay
a
to be a
question
jerk.
and I had the answer, so I don't need a
You've got the answer.
yes.
All right. What else? Come on. Yeah, buts, how abouts, what ifs. What are you left with? What are you present to? I'm ready to move on. Shut up. I want to talk now. Whatever. Anything. Yes.
We may say, okay, I'll do it, but I'll do it bad.
You'll do
Or
it bad?
I'll do it halfly good.
Well, you know what? There's something refreshing about that because that's authentic, right? You know what you can count on from her is I'm going to do it halfway. So this is authenticity. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it halfway. That's a whole lot better than somebody just going off and not telling you anything about anything and, you get what you get. You can at least interact with that. I'm going to do it. We have this expression half-assed. We use that a lot. It's not a pleasant word, but we say that. What else?
We can move on.
You ready to move on?
Yes.
Yes?
There is no problem with understanding.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah,
problem
no,
with
that's
expressing our minds.
All right. Let's see. What are we- Okay. So we were going to do sharing from the homework of what you saw in your judging and evaluating people. And then what happened when you listen for their contribution. I'm not gonna let go of that one. So I'm committed that you do that. Is there anyone who refuses to do that? Let me know. But I'm committed that you do that. You may not need to do it by the next time. This may be a thing that we do ongoingly. Yes?
Can you explain the homework for us because we were absent first time?
Right, okay. It may be too soon in the course to do this. You may not be ready for this conversation, or up for it, or you don't have enough of something. I haven't given you enough of something to be able to do this powerfully. But I'm going to tell you where this conversation is going to go, okay? So some of you, okay, so I sent 8 emails out. I didn't have everybody's. Did you get the email? Somebody wanted the homework. right? So you wanted to see what the homework was. Are you checking your email? So this business of already always listening, we're going to cover in the course. It's called already always listen. You're already always listening for people's, usually it's like some way that they're deficient or small, right? So there's an already always listening that we are. And I'm going to ask you to set that aside and listen for who they are as a contribution. And then what we're going to do is write on our name tag. See, does anybody, can you see my name tag? I have my name, and I have this possibility that I am, right? Having lives we love. That's the possibility that I am. And I promise you, when I show up, you don't listen to me like that. So I get to live inside your petty judgments and evaluations. Even if you think I'm handsome and, I was sent to the earth by the gods or something, it's still a constraint. Because soon you will knock me off that pedestal and I'll be an earthworm for you. But this is how human beings are wired. And it nails your foot to the floor if you can't be responsible for it. 'Cause you'll only be able to work with a certain group of people that you like and admire based on these preconceived notions or beliefs that you have, which came from the past, but you pointed out anyway. Okay, so we're going to do that, and you're going to end up with who you are as a possibility on your name tag. Now, does anybody want to take on that homework about noticing your judgments and evaluations? I mean, you can even write them down. Does anybody want to take that on? Raise your hand if you want to take that on. You're not ready to take this on yet? I'm inviting you to take on the homework that I gave you last time. You're going to take that on?
Yep.
Okay.
I think all of us will do it for tomorrow.
Huh?
I think that most of us will do it for tomorrow.
You think that most,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, what you think and your opinions really don't make any difference. What will make a difference is she promised, and I'm going to ask her. You see how I roll around here, don't you? So how many people said that they would do something, and I'm going to call you to account for what you said. I'm actually your partner in it. I really have no interest in dominating you about what you